Hey friends, I'm so happy to talk to you. As you can see, I'm back home now. It's been some really rough days I couldn't like even have strength to hold my arms. Um, and they were kind of a whirlwind. Doctors all fighting and arguing and conflicting. There's massive chaos, and it's been just ridiculousness and things that they're saying and threatening and doing. It's been inconceivable, and so I refuse to conceive it, right? Because my goal and my plan is to be whole and healthy and magically healed and here with you guys, because we've only gotten like the crumb and the crust of this thing, because we're not going to be getting into the shizdizzery, because that's what's been here to block and distract from the beauty and the joy in the life. Remember, it's joy to the world, not chaos to the world, not craptastic to the world, not all this, snargly stuff going on. So for now, settling in the house with my parents, and my dad's doing a good job of holding the downstairs down and just being here for my mom, so my mom can be here for me, because vomiting, pain, adults arguing, unless it was coming from his mouth. But I mean, watching the others go on and me having to stand up for myself was a bit shocking, both to my brother and to my dad. And my brother came around the corner and heard me having this conversation with the hospitalist, the corner of my room. We were put in a little cracker box. The first place I was like heaven. The second place I was like hell. And after the hospitalist left, my brother's like, you need to be nice to that guy. That guy was really nice to me and this and that, whatever. I said, because he made sure when my brother came in the room, he smiled and turned his attention towards him and put on that trickery pageantry. And made these snarky comments to me like, well, since you've talked the whole time and haven't given me 1 second to get a word in, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, whatever. I couldn't. When somebody's lying, all you hear is like the rumble of the road, just noise, Even the teacher from Peanuts is way cuter with her want, 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 want. All I hear, blah, 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 like shoes tumbling in the dryer. I looked at my brother. I said, it's funny, you walked in after he'd already been in here a few minutes. And I said, I did give him time to speak, because how else could I answer his questions? I was simply trying to answer the question he'd given me. And when I would start to speak, he would cut me off and shut me up. So I said, I wasn't in here talking the whole time. And the only reason my mouth was open is because he was asking me questions. And there were these weird questions of like, how can we get rid of you today? And I was like, well, I'd like to speak to this particular doctor who had been in while they were doing the bone procedure. And the doctor said, oh, okay, sure. And he went and called him and left the room, had his talk with him, and came back in and said, well, he says this and this. I said, did you miss that I wanted to talk to him to see what he had to say? Because what he told my parents is in complete opposition of what you're saying right now. But all in all, none of it ended up mattering. I was about splatted on the floor, vomiting everywhere. And it was interesting because they kept trying to coax me and coo me and soothe me and tell me, the staff was, that I was having this anxiety attack with the brows like that. And you're kind people, but I'm like, my body is physically freaking out because y'all have given me no pain medicine since yesterday, no water, no fluids on somebody who's utterly dehydrated. Like, you can pinch my skin and it could just sit up. And here it is, hours and hours and hours after the procedure, and I still haven't had fluids and anything to eat. And y'all broke the entire schedule that we had developed at the other place that was causing me to thrive. No, there. You can't get up. And I'm about to pee everywhere. And my the thing with the kidneys and stuff, it's locking up and it's just erupting up my spine. And they're like, no, you can't get up till you prove you can stand. Well, that's the thing about when a body is having panic because it is trying to create a hierarchy of needs. I had it and I said, I can, you won't let me. I begged my mom for Gatorade. Our Gatorade that we brought, she was forbidden to give it to me. This is after I've had the procedure. This is after the liquids ban has been lifted, yet no one has given me any liquids. No one has given me any food. No one has done that, okay? And so finally, I just break past them and I make it to the bathroom. And I don't know if any of you have ever been in there. They have this retainer when they're having to keep up with your fluids. And I filled the whole thing. And this is someone who's had nothing to drink since midnight, which actually, for me, it was since 10 p.m. when I had finally fallen asleep. But then coming back in and telling me that I'm, that I'm either withholding my vomit or I'm making myself vomit or I just, relax, this and that, breathe, whatever. And I said, well, my body's trying to vomit from down in my feet. It's a whole different experience. And I have to be able to roll and move around with it so it can get out, get up, and get over. I was doing this for a few weeks before I ever came to the hospital. I know what's going on. My body needs relief. My body needs fluids. Then my body needs food. And they're like, well, yeah, we need you to get all that. And I said, I'm telling you, this is what has to happen. So anyways, eventually I just fell out on the bed, passed out, and without anything. That's just the way it was. And then that hospitalist had sent in somebody else with some rolling machine to try and get more images. I'm going to put another CT on me, which is radiation, right? After I'd had a live radiation scan on me for, 20, 30 minutes straight while they were doing that procedure. After the 7th CAT scan that I've had, after they keep doing it to get the same exact images that they already have, and my body's aching and sick, and I'm like, it's because y'all are just like charging me to get death, But the sun is radiation, right? So I'm shining like the sun. With y'all's prayers and love, I'm going to get better. Now you could ask, well, I'm happy right now. I'm on pain meds. No, I was due for it about 2 hours ago, but I managed to fall asleep instead. I was like, well, I'm on the brink of sleep, so let's see if I can just go ahead and sleep right now. That way I don't take that many, because this particular one, when we had the stable environment, I took 2 a day, which actually 2 halves, 2 tiny microscopic halves is what they had me take. But I had the plan of making my grandmother's homemade ice cream best in the world, y'all. It's called a raw ice cream because it's not a custard. And there I was waking up from this little half-hour nap I got, and I'm like, Mama, come see me. I've got a plan. And she got out her paper and her pencil to start writing out, because we're fighting these spiritual battles, recording how we're navigating them and how we're winning them, because they're extremely pervasive and shocking. Like, my whole family getting to witness what people are saying to me and how it's going about. Their mouths are falling open. And they're like, is this really happening? I'm like, I don't know, but let's get past it. Let's get to where I live and I thrive. And I'm not just going to survive all. I'm talking about happy living, happy bones, happy body, happy joy, happy fluids, happy tissues, wholeness, right? So anyways, we're going to make Guga's homemade ice cream. Now, Guga is my grandmother. There are 5 grandkids, my brother, myself, and then my dad's sister has 3 children. And my brother was the firstborn. And he spoke really early. I mean, a little felon. He was just spry and moving all about. He just said, Guga. And they're like, no, it's grandmom or something, whatever they were trying to say. Do you mean that? And he's like, no, Guga. And she's like, I love it. Now, this woman is sweeter than strawberry ice cream, y'all. She passed in 2014, and we buried her the day before my birthday. Well, she's greatly missed. Her presence and her person in this world was remarkable, to say the least. So anyways, we're going to have a celebration at a time that it couldn't have seemed worse, like earlier today and yesterday and everything, because of course they ended up sending me home, not stable. Never getting to speak to that doctor because the hospitalist was lying. And what's wild is I have a lot of this recorded, not without them knowing it, because I was busy recording, spiritual messages off the TV so I could get into my head when I get home of, hey, Joy, you're going to live and not die. You're going to live and not die. You're going to live and not die. I'm like, wait, turn that off. You're making noise. I'm like, well, I am recording. And then they just keep going. So who knows what's going to come on this, everybody. But anyways, this is our first shred of life coming through, and the blessing of our family that had been shrouded and stifled and shrink wrapped through this death curse and all this craziness has gone on the last 100 years, you know. I told my mom, and she was instantly giddy too, and she said, oh, you know, my brother's wife, Wanda, it's her favorite too, even on her family, and everybody's like, it's the best we've ever had. And it's because it's literally made with love. It's literally made with love. So we're going to do this neat little like energy magic. When you tap into the source of happy memories, it's going to unleash that into my body and into my life, because our connection to that happiness and that beauty in life has been broken. Because I was one of those resources, we all are, you know, but had been holding on to that hope for the wholeness of the family for a really long time, and here it's going to come back. And I said, you know, I can't get anything down besides some Pringles, because they're basically dissolved potatoes, right? I said, but I can have that. And I said, it'll have the eggs in it, and then it'll have the milk, the calcium that I need for my bones, and it'll have a whole lot of love. And she said, well, good thing, because your dad had said, I'm going to wait till Joy wakes up to see if there's anything else we need before I go to the store. Because they're going to try and bake sweet potatoes. They're going to bake sweet potatoes. And we're going to try and see if my body will allow it. Because just in those couple of days, they took me down into the belly of hell at the other hospital, which is when we quit speaking. It was just mass destruction. But here we rise, right? Maybe I'll end up sharing it. I don't know. I need to listen to my heart first, right? So, you know, I've got the wonky jonky, boop, 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 boop. If you were bored, boop, 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 boop. There's you some free entertainment. So anyways, I'm going to lay back down so my body can rest and I can catch my breath. But I want y'all to know I love you. And remember, go into the vault, watch some videos from there until the zodiacs can come out. But this is a good sign. This celebration is beginning the stabilization. And from there, we will start with the health and the life. Thank you for praying and investing in my life and in your life. Because remember, we are all one. You know, one for all and all for one, right? Believing in my value in being here on this earth at this time. So, I wish you all well. Hugs, hugs, hugs. Love, love, love. I appreciate everybody. If you could do me a favor and tap that like button down there for me. Go visit the vault. Do yourself a favor. Just follow whatever your spirit leads to. Remember, we're the whole zodiac, precious one. And I look forward to chatting in the comments down below. I love you.